Welcome to today's video, where we dive into a concept that might just change the way you see your relationships and your life. Today, we're exploring something crucial for anyone aiming to level up: 10 types of people who could be holding you back. Picture this: you're in a hot air balloon, ready to rise to new heights, full of big dreams, ambitious goals, and the drive to make it happen. But as you lift off, something feels off. The balloon isn't climbing as fast as you'd hoped. Looking down, you notice people clinging to the basket, weighing you down. That's exactly what happens when you're surrounded by the wrong people. They become a weight that holds you back from reaching your true potential. What's concerning is that most of us don't even realize who these people are, or how their presence is quietly pulling us down. Often, they're longtime friends, family members, or colleagues we see daily. Their influence can be subtle, like a slow leak in your balloon, gradually draining your energy, positivity, and motivation. So, who are these people? That's exactly what we'll uncover here. We'll go through 10 types who could be sabotaging your success without you even realizing it. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have any toxic people in my life. But hold on, sometimes these individuals hide their nature very well. Recognizing them is the first step to freeing yourself from their negative impact. We'll do more than identify these personalities. We'll look at why their behavior is harmful, share real stories you might relate to, and most importantly, provide practical tips on handling them. Whether it's setting boundaries, changing how you respond, or even removing certain people from your life, we'll figure out the best approach together. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. After watching this, you'll be equipped to make sure those 5 people lift you up rather than hold you down. Ready to cut loose the heavy sandbags and let your balloon soar? Let's explore who might be keeping you from reaching new heights. Every time you face someone who drains your energy, you're losing precious time that could go toward your goals, dreams, or self-care. Over time, this can lead to burnout, resentment, and a setback in personal growth. Let's look at Mike and his friend Lisa. Mike's preparing for a major presentation and needs to focus, but Lisa calls again with her latest crisis. "Mike, you won't believe what happened at work today. You have to hear the whole thing." 2 hours later, Mike's emotionally exhausted, and he still hasn't finished his preparations. Meanwhile, Lisa feels relieved after unloading her issues, until the next crisis, of course. So, how do you spot an energy drainer? Watch for these signs. They're always in crisis mode. They leave you feeling tired or stressed. They rarely ask about your life, and they often play the victim, unwilling to accept solutions. Dealing with them takes specific strategies. First, set clear time boundaries in your interactions. Second, learn to say no. You're not responsible for everyone else's issues. Third, if they're always in crisis, encourage them to seek professional help. Finally, practice self-care after each interaction to recharge. Remember, protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. Now, let's discuss a trickier group: manipulators. These people are social chess players, always several moves ahead, but not in a good way. Manipulators are skilled at using emotions, often guilt or fear, to control others to get what they want. They excel at making you question your reality, a tactic known as gaslighting. One moment, they'll compliment you, and the next, criticize you, leaving you insecure and easier to control. Why are they dangerous? Manipulators erode your self-confidence, your ability to trust others, and even your sense of reality. They can make you feel like you're losing your grip, and over time, this can take a serious toll on your mental health and relationships. Consider Tom and his sister Rachel. Tom saved for years to take a dream vacation. Rachel, learning of his plans, approaches him with red-rimmed eyes. "Tom, I hate to ask, but I'm in serious trouble." Rachel, always the master manipulator, knows that Tom, who values family above all else, will feel obliged to help. Instead of enjoying his long-awaited break, Tom is caught in a web of guilt and sacrifice, abandoning his goals once again. Manipulators often disguise their true intentions well, making it hard to break free. If you're dealing with a manipulator, stay vigilant. Learn to recognize guilt-tripping or emotionally charged persuasion for what it is. Practice saying no without apology and set limits that prioritize your own well-being. Reclaiming control over your own life means recognizing who's in your corner for real and who's just there for their own gain. In the end, choosing to surround yourself with people who support and inspire you is the foundation for a fulfilling life. So are you ready to remove the weights and let yourself rise? It's time to take a hard look at your relationships, value your energy, and make choices that help you soar. Tom is torn. Rachel, his sister, says, "I need $5,000 or I'll lose my apartment. You're the only one I can turn to." Under pressure, feeling guilty, Tom hands over the money. A week later, scrolling through social media, he sees Rachel flaunting an extravagant shopping spree. This is classic manipulation. How do you recognize manipulators? Watch for telltale signs. They often use guilt to get what they want. They twist words or outright deny what they've said. They play the victim when confronted, and they may offer exaggerated praise just before making a request. Dealing with manipulators requires a firm approach. First, trust your gut. If something feels off, it likely is. Second, establish clear boundaries and hold firm to them no matter what they say or do. Third, avoid justifying, arguing, defending, or explaining. State your stance simply. Fourth, seek support from others to validate your perspective if you're feeling uncertain. Remember, you have the right to make decisions without guilt. Don't let anyone manipulate you into thinking otherwise. Next, let's talk about complainers and how Stoic philosophy provides a roadmap for dealing with them. Complainers find fault with everything. The weather is too hot or too cold, there's always a traffic issue, or the coffee machine takes too long. They see problems everywhere, but never solutions. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom applies directly to dealing with chronic complainers. Take Maria, a promising young professional with a colleague, John, who starts each workday with complaints: traffic, the coffee machine, their unreasonable boss. At first, Maria felt her mood sink along with his, but then she discovered Stoicism and realized that while she couldn't control John's behavior, she could control her own reaction. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Maria began viewing John's complaints not as truths, but as his subjective viewpoint, one she didn't need to share. She responded with questions like, "What can we do to improve things?" Or, "Is there anything positive we're overlooking?" This Stoic approach served two purposes. It preserved Maria's peace of mind and gently challenged John to shift his perspective. Applying Stoic strategies to deal with complainers can be powerful. Try practicing negative visualization. Imagine things could be worse, which helps you appreciate what you have. Focus on your response. While you can't control what others say or do, you can control how you react. You can't stop others from complaining, but you can choose how you interpret and respond to them. Here are a few techniques. First, look for the lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Second, embrace the concept of amor fati, or love of fate, accepting that complainers will always be part of life and viewing interactions with them as opportunities to build virtue. As Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Don't let others' imagined problems become real issues for you. When dealing with those who never take responsibility, those who blame others, make excuses, and insist it's not my fault, Stoicism offers perspective. Epictetus remarked, "When we blame others, we waste our energy, but when we take responsibility, we empower ourselves." This captures the essence of personal accountability. Consider Alex, a team lead at a busy marketing firm. One team member, Sarah, consistently misses deadlines and makes errors, yet always has excuses. The instructions weren't clear, I didn't have enough time, or someone gave me incorrect information. Initially, Alex felt frustration and anger towards Sarah. But as he delved into Stoic philosophy, he realized two key things. First, he couldn't control Sarah's actions or her lack of responsibility. Second, he could control his own actions and reactions. As Marcus Aurelius reminded, you always have the option not to have an opinion about something. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul over things you can't control. So Alex chose to focus on what he could manage. Instead of expending energy on Sarah's excuses, he set clear expectations, documented issues, and provided feedback within his control. This empowered him to remain composed and focus on solutions rather than frustrations. By internalizing Stoic wisdom, Alex protected his energy and stayed grounded. Through Stoicism, we learn that responsibility for our lives and choices lies solely with us. The world may throw challenges our way, and people may frustrate us. But by focusing on what we can control, our reactions, our thoughts, and our actions, we take charge of our lives, making space for peace, purpose, and progress. Alex tackled the ongoing issue of responsibility in his team by streamlining task assignments, clarifying requirements, and setting regular checkpoints throughout each project. Most importantly, he focused on managing his own expectations and emotions. When Sarah, a team member who often deflected responsibility, made excuses, Alex calmly referenced the resources and support provided, then asked, "What could you try differently next time to reach a better outcome?" This Stoic-inspired approach shifts the focus from blame to constructive problem-solving. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in taking ownership of our actions and responses. Epictetus once said, "You cannot learn what you think you already know." When dealing with people who evade responsibility, consider these strategies. First, focus on your actions. Have you done all you can to facilitate success? Second, practice empathy. Try to understand why they may be avoiding responsibility, whether out of fear or insecurity. Third, lead by example. Show them what accountability looks like. Fourth, maintain calm. Don't let their actions disturb your inner peace. As Seneca wisely advised, the best remedy for anger is delay. When dealing with someone who resists accountability, take time before responding and choose your reaction carefully. Now let's explore how Stoic philosophy can guide us in handling envious individuals. Envy often manifests in people who yearn for what others have and try to downplay others' successes. Epictetus provides a profound insight into envy. The wise are not saddened by what they lack, but are grateful for what they have. This principle encourages us to focus on our own possessions and achievements, rather than fixating on what we don't have. Consider Sophia, a successful entrepreneur who frequently encounters envy from her old friend, Lisa. Whenever Sophia shares an accomplishment, be it a business milestone or a personal achievement, Lisa reacts with jealousy, either minimizing Sophia's success or abruptly changing the subject. At first, Sophia felt hurt and frustrated. Why couldn't her friend be happy for her? But through Stoic teachings, she gained a new perspective. Marcus Aurelius advised, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and rude. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." Sophia realized that Lisa's envy stemmed more from Lisa's insecurities than from Sophia's successes. Sophia couldn't control Lisa's feelings, but she could control her own reactions. Rather than feeling offended, she began to approach these interactions with empathy, inquiring about Lisa's life and affirming even her small wins. When faced with a jealous remark, Sophia gently redirected the conversation toward positive, shared interests. The Stoic approach to handling envious individuals involves several core principles. First, practice gratitude. Frequently acknowledge and appreciate what you already have. Second, recognize that external things like success, wealth, and status are transient. Stoicism encourages us to focus instead on cultivating inner virtues. Third, nurture compassion. Realize that envy often stems from insecurity or fear. Fourth, concentrate on building your own character. As Epictetus reminds, keep your attention focused on yourself and do not be concerned with what others are saying about you. If you're intent on self-improvement, accept that others may view you as foolish or naive. Don't let someone else's envy derail your path. Seneca wisely observed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can face envious people with calm, preserving our inner peace while remaining focused on our goals. Stoic philosophy, offers a powerful toolkit for dealing with complainers, those who avoid accountability, and the envious. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, seek growth in every challenge, and cultivate inner tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. By absorbing Stoic principles, we become more resilient, compassionate, and well-prepared to handle the diverse personalities we encounter in life. Picture yourself walking through a bustling Roman market, amidst the clamor of trade and debate, hearing whispers and rumors spreading like wildfire. In an instant, a reputation could be built or shattered. This scene mirrors our modern world, where gossip still thrives, amplified now by social media and instant messaging. Gossips are those who spread rumors and talk about others behind their backs. While they might seem harmless or even entertaining, don't be mistaken, they can corrode your reputation like rust on metal. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once advised, if you hear that someone is speaking ill of you, don't try to defend yourself against the rumors. Instead, reply, yes, and they don't even know the half of it. They could say much more. This captures the Stoic approach to gossip. Don't let it disturb your peace of mind. Consider the story of Marcus, a young Roman soldier whose fellow troops often gathered to complain about their superiors and criticize each other. At first, Marcus joined in, thinking it helped him bond with his peers, but soon he noticed it was changing him, making him more distrustful and resentful. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, Marcus decided to alter his approach. When his friends began gossiping, he would steer the conversation to constructive topics, or simply step away. Initially, some mocked him, but over time, they began to respect his integrity. To identify gossipers, watch for signs. They often start with, "Did you hear about?" They seem to know everyone's business. They ask you to keep things just between us before sharing, and they enjoy spreading sensational or damaging news. Facing gossipers with stoicism in mind, remember a few key principles. First, recognize that what others say is beyond your control. Focus instead on your actions and character. Second, avoid engaging in gossip yourself. As Socrates advised, apply the 3 filters. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? Third, be mindful that if someone gossips to you about others, they likely gossip about you too. Finally, use gossip as an opportunity for self-reflection. If someone's words bother you, ask why, and strive to improve that part of yourself. Imagine yourself as a young olive tree growing in the Greek sun, becoming stronger every day. Now, imagine if someone constantly tried to bend your branches or limit your water supply. This is what it feels like to be surrounded by people who don't support your growth. These may be friends, family, or colleagues who intentionally or not try to keep you in place. They might downplay your ambitions, dismiss your achievements, or sow doubt about your abilities. Stoic philosopher Seneca gave sage advice: associate with those who can improve you. This simple counsel has profound meaning. The people we associate with shape our thoughts, ambitions, and ultimately our lives. Consider Clea, a young woman in Athens with a dream to become a philosopher, an uncommon pursuit for a woman in her time. Many friends and family discouraged her, urging her toward more suitable roles for women. But Clea found inspiration in Stoic teachings and persisted. She sought mentors who believed in her potential and surrounded herself with people committed to learning. In the end, Clea became a respected thinker, overcoming social barriers thanks to a supportive circle and a resilient mindset. You can recognize those who don't support your growth by certain behaviors. They belittle your achievements or goals. They often say things like, "That's not realistic," or "Why bother?" They seem uncomfortable or indifferent when you share your goals, and they might try to hold you back under the guise of protecting you. To handle unsupportive people with a Stoic mindset, try these steps. First, practice indifference to criticism. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Second, focus on your own progress. Marcus Aurelius advises, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Third, seek out positive influences. Surround yourself with people who challenge and encourage your growth. Let others' doubts fuel your resolve to prove them wrong. As Seneca wisely observed, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Resistance from unsupportive people can make you stronger and more resilient if you approach it with the right mindset. Consider why certain people may not support your growth. Often, it stems from their own fears or insecurities. Understanding this can help you respond with empathy rather than anger, keeping your focus on your own path and personal growth. Ultimately, your growth is your responsibility. As Epictetus reminds us, no one is free who is not master of himself. Don't let others' limitations determine your potential. By applying Stoic principles, you can stay committed to your path regardless of others' opinions. Imagine yourself as a wealthy merchant in ancient Rome, only to realize that certain friends show up only when they need to borrow money or ask favors, then vanish when it's time to reciprocate. These are the opportunists of antiquity, not so different from people we encounter in modern society. Exploiters see relationships as transactions. They appear only when they stand to gain and disappear when they have nothing to give. They drain your resources, whether financial, emotional, or time-based. Epictetus offered profound advice for handling people like this. Don't hope that events will happen as you wish. Rather, hope that they will happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life. This isn't about accepting exploitation, but rather accepting the reality that such people exist and focusing on your own response rather than expecting them to change. Consider Lucius, a kind Roman citizen known for his generosity. He has a friend named Cassius who only reaches out when he needs help. One day, Cassius requests a substantial loan. Instead of feeling angry or used, Lucius saw this as an opportunity to practice Stoic principles. Calmly, he explained to Cassius that true friendship involves mutual exchange and offered to help him find work instead of lending money, teaching him to fish rather than just giving him a fish. This response allowed Lucius to keep his peace of mind while addressing the imbalance in their relationship. To spot exploiters, look for these signs. They only reach out when they need something. Their issues are always urgent, and only you can help. They rarely ask about your life or offer support in return, and they often use flattery or guilt to get what they want. To handle exploiters, stoically, consider these strategies. First, set clear boundaries. As Seneca observed, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. By establishing and communicating limits, we avoid the stress of guessing unreasonable requests. Second, practice non-attachment. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Recognize that you can't control others' behavior, only your reaction. Third, see each interaction as an opportunity to grow. Every encounter with an exploiter builds assertiveness, compassion, and self-respect. Fourth, reflect on your own behavior to ensure you're not unintentionally taking advantage of others. As Marcus Aurelius advised, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and rude. They act this way because they do not know the good from the bad, but I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and recognize that the wrongdoer is related to me." Maintaining one-sided relationships drains energy you could invest in mutual, supportive connections. As Seneca wisely stated, time is our most valuable asset, so be mindful of how you use it. By applying Stoic principles, we can manage relationships with exploiters while preserving our peace and integrity. We learn to give wisely, set boundaries with compassion, and value our time and ourselves. This approach creates space for relationships that genuinely support our growth and happiness. Now let's talk about narcissists. Imagine you've just landed your dream job and are eager to make an impact, but there's a problem. Your boss, Marcus, sees himself as the center of the universe. Everything revolves around him. Your ideas are whispers in a storm. A narcissist believes they are the sun, around which all must orbit. They crave admiration, lack empathy, and have an inflated sense of self-importance. Let's look at Sarah, a promising young marketing professional. Her boss, Mark, is a textbook narcissist. He frequently dismisses her ideas in meetings, only to represent them as his own later. When there's success, Mark takes all the credit. When there's failure, he shifts the blame onto others. Dealing with a narcissist requires resilience and strategy. Narcissists often see others as tools to boost their self-image and can drain the confidence and enthusiasm of those around them. To handle them stoically, keep these strategies in mind. First, manage your expectations. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Accept that a narcissist's behavior is likely to stay the same. Focus instead on controlling your reactions and maintaining your sense of self. Second, limit emotional investment. Stoicism encourages detachment. Don't take their actions personally or become overly affected by their shifting moods and praise-seeking. Third, work on detaching your self-worth from external validation. Remember that your value doesn't depend on a narcissist's approval. Fourth, focus on your own progress and goals. As Epictetus advised, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. When Sarah's ideas were stolen, she stopped seeking validation from her boss and instead directed her energy toward building a network of mentors who valued her contributions. She reminded herself that her self-worth was intrinsic, not contingent on Mark's acknowledgement. In time, Sarah's work attracted the attention of others in her field, opening doors that aligned with her goals, beyond the reach of her boss's influence. Ultimately, practicing Stoicism helps us navigate relationships with narcissists and other challenging personalities. Rather than succumbing to the sway of others' egos, we become masters of our own responses, seeking inner peace and personal growth over external validation. We learn to balance assertiveness with compassion, to uphold our values without the need for external approval, and to thrive even amidst difficult personalities. Embracing these Stoic insights, we fortify ourselves against the ups and downs of human interactions, preserving our integrity, fostering genuine connections, and ensuring that our time and energy are wisely invested. Sarah's confidence was quickly eroding, like a sandcastle washed away by waves. But this is where Stoic principles can serve as a compass. As Epictetus put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Sarah realized that while she couldn't change Marcus, her narcissistic boss, she could change how she responded to him. How do we spot these self-proclaimed demigods? Look for signs. They crave being the center of attention, hold an inflated sense of self-worth, lack empathy, believe they're entitled to everything, and are quick to anger at criticism. Managing narcissists isn't easy, but Stoicism offers powerful tools. Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Some Stoic strategies for dealing with narcissists include practicing emotional detachment. Their behavior reflects them, not you. Setting clear boundaries, know what you will and won't tolerate. Avoiding feeding their ego. Narcissists thrive on reactions, so don't give them the satisfaction. Focusing on your growth. Seneca noted, while we wait for life, life passes. And finally, remembering your intrinsic worth. Don't let their actions undermine your self-worth. Sarah embraced these principles. She stopped seeking Marcus's approval and focused on her own growth, establishing firm boundaries and remaining calm in the face of his anger. Over time, Marcus's influence over her diminished, and she overcame the obstacles he created. The truth is, narcissists are like storms, loud, disruptive, and attention-seeking, but you can be the mountain, standing firm and unmoved despite the weather. Remember Epictetus's wisdom. A person who is everywhere is nowhere. Don't let a narcissist's demands distract you from your path. Your peace of mind is too valuable to be held captive by someone else's ego. Ultimately, handling narcissists means reclaiming your power, understanding that true strength comes from within. Like a Stoic, stand firm, hold your ground, and let your inner mountain rise above the turbulent seas of self-importance. In the digital age, the Stoic path has extended from in-person interactions to screens, notifications, and digital whispers. Preserving our integrity and peace of mind in a digital world brings new challenges. Imagine our friend Marcus navigating the tricky waters of social media today. He picks up his phone and sees a flood of notifications, likes, comments, shares, messages, all vying for his attention. The modern-day Roman Forum now fits in the palm of his hand, with whispers and shouts from around the world reaching him instantly. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, seemed to foresee our modern dilemma when he wrote, "A person who is everywhere is nowhere." In this hyper-connected world, it's easy to let your mind drift across countless platforms, scrolling through Instagram, checking email, replying to tweets, only to find you're not truly present in your life. How can we apply Stoic principles to our digital lives? First, consider your digital footprint carefully. Before posting, sharing, or commenting, pause and ask yourself, as Marcus Aurelius might, is this necessary? Does your contribution add value, or is it just adding noise? Second, curate your digital space thoughtfully. As the Stoics advised, surround yourself with wise and virtuous people. Be selective in who you follow and engage with online, as your digital environment impacts your thoughts and emotions just as much as your physical environment does. Third, set digital boundaries. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from knowing what is within your control and what is not. Apply this to your online life by setting clear limits, such as designated times for checking social media, device-free evenings, or screen-free meals. Practice compassion online. Remember that behind every avatar and username is a real person. Seneca reminded us, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Let this guide your interactions on the web. Use technology with purpose. Rather than scrolling aimlessly, use digital tools to further your growth. Follow accounts that share Stoic insights. Use apps for meditation and reflection, or join online communities centered on personal development. By adopting a Stoic approach to digital life, we can maintain our integrity, stay grounded, and keep a clear mind amidst the endless notifications and interactions. We can engage with technology in a way that supports our well-being, rather than scattering our focus. The Stoic mindset equips us to navigate this modern landscape wisely, using technology to enrich our lives without compromising our inner peace. Finally, consider taking regular digital breaks. Occasionally, disconnect completely from the digital world. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Sometimes, the best way to access that peace is simply by turning off our devices. By incorporating principles like this into our routines, we can transform digital life from a source of distraction and potential negativity into a tool that supports growth and meaningful connection. We can use social media not as a stage for the ego, but as a platform to spread wisdom and kindness. As we reach the end of our exploration into managing negative influences and applying Stoic wisdom, remember this: you are the architect of your life. The power to choose your response to any situation is always within your hands. The authority to shape your character and design both your physical and digital environment belongs solely to you. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This timeless insight is as profoundly relevant in our fast-paced, always connected world as it was in ancient Rome. Whether you're dealing with gossip at work or navigating the complexities of social media, you always have the power to choose your response. As you continue forward, I challenge you to embody Stoic virtues in your daily life. Be the one who lifts others up rather than pulling them down. Be the voice of reason in a sea of reactive voices. Become the reliable anchor others can trust. True strength is not about controlling others or the world around you, but in mastering yourself. Members of the Stoic community march forward with courage, face both ancient and modern challenges with wisdom and composure. Remember that in the grand theatre of life, you are the one who chooses your role. Choose to be the hero in your own story. Thank you for joining me on this journey into Stoic wisdom. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing. I look forward to seeing you on the next adventure.